Western Sayans. There is some kind of magic in this endless range of tops, something that catches your eye and wakens the imagination. Each meter of climbing, each bend of the serpentine road makes this feeling stronger and stronger, and when you are almost full of impressions, unexpectedly, the road reveals to you the most important: ERGAKI. Everything staggers the imagination here, and it seems there is nothing constant. The rocks and lakes, surrounded by the tumble of huge boulders, are of their own peculiar, almost unreal colors and tints. Hundreds of times you pass by the same place and you do not find anything remarkable, and then you are going. Either the light is unusual or the nature is in a peculiar state. I mean, you have already been here for hundreds of times and suddenly you see the picture. Here, you feel something absolutely peculiar. You feel the happiness of having the opportunity to be and see. You feel thankful for the fortune which has led you here. Whoa! How cool! It's breathtaking! When I see this spreading valley, I have a feeling of unreality, as if an artist came, took a canvas, and created this all. I close my eyes, then open them, and think, can this be real? Can such things, such unreal landscapes, be on Earth? ERGAKI is one of the mountain ranges of the Western Sayans in the south of the Krasnoyarsk territory, except for the federal road M54, which connects the center of the Krasnoyarsk territory with Khakassia and Tuva. This place would still be unknown and available only to hunters and professional travelers. It's the road that opened ERGAKI for tourism. It's so easy to come here by car or bus. It's 600 kilometers from Krasnoyarsk and just 200 kilometers from Abakumov, the nearest town with an airport and railway station. And one step from the asphalt road, there's the untouched virgin taiga. It's just 2, 3, or 3.5 hours walk from the federal road to Light Lake to Rainbow Lake, where even the beginners can go. 2 to 3 hours, that's rather close. On the area of 300 square kilometers, tens of beautiful rocks, lakes, waterfalls, and beautiful views. Each of them is worth traveling to. It's the combination of transport accessibility and virgin natural beauty that makes ERGAKI such a unique and attractive tourist place. That is why, in 2005, in order to turn wild tourism into civilized, the natural park ERGAKI was organized. The park includes a specially protected area, tourist and recreation, and economic ones created to develop tourism. The first stage of ERGAKI development, which includes creating of the Federal Training Center, Federal Rescue Camp, Alpen Camp, some entrepreneurs' objects, which have already started their development, is aimed at increasing the number of holiday makers of up to 300,000 a year. There are such people who need not to just admire mountains. Mountaineers and climbers appreciated and chose ERGAKI as their training and competition ground many years ago. Many climbers, world champions, trained here. Russian mountaineers trained here for conquering Everest. For those who like rocks, sharp slopes and difficult routes, ERGAKI is a special territory, a territory for climbing. In 2009, the International Mountaineering Festival was held in ERGAKI. This place wasn't chosen at random. It's easy to get here. Both small rocks and almost vertical walls about 500 meters high are situated here. In fact, the championship of this type places serious demands on the territory. ERGAKI answers these demands to 90%. This is one of the most interesting and exotic places for foreigners. Foreign mountaineers who took part in such competitions for the first time greatly appreciated the slope's level and the Russians' great experience in holding such type of competitions.
That seems like a very complicated question because here it seems like that's pretty important because there isn't the private sponsorship as much. In the US it's not as important to have sport because you can seek your own path through private companies. You know, like here it's supported by the state more because I don't know, you can try to explain that however. But yeah, I think it is important here, but in the US you just don't need it.
Abroad, mountaineering, unlike climbing, is rather an extreme hobby than sport. But now it has got all the chances to get the status of sport competitions under the guidance of the International Mountaineering Federation. Now, it's very difficult to organize this festival because of transport, food, but we must do it because we've got the aim. These stones are said to be the gods' toys. Perhaps one thing is certain. The first person who saw them was fascinated. The fanciful rocks' shapes created images in his mind, and images created legends. According to one of them, ERGAKI represents Batur's hand. He had thrown out a challenge to the gods. He was damned and taken away for that. And his fingers, turned to stone, are still protruding from the ground. ERGAKI means fingers in the Turkic language. Many ancient names have been forgotten by now, but the rocks are still arousing the imagination of our contemporaries. The rock's nut and hanging stone above Rainbow Lake, the peak bird guarding Light Lake, Parabola Rock, a miracle of natural geometry, the mysterious Lake of Mountain Spirits, the predatory fold of Dragon's Tooth, Stone Town, and it might be symbolic that there is Artist's Lake and Artist's Passage in ERGAKI. This is a real paradise for photographers and painters. Despite all of the beauty and attractiveness, we shouldn't compare hikes in ERGAKI with those in a city park. Because these are mountains, though they are small, we should treat them seriously. Suddenly, it can start snowing, and it can freeze everyone here. Yes, cellular communication is available in many places here, but cross-country, changing weather, typical for mountains, and the possibility of meeting wild animals make hikes to ERGAKI a very serious and responsible task. Weather conditions and nature have serious influence. People often get into emergency situations, overestimate their forces, and do not proportion distances and their abilities, or just slip on a stone, break their arms, legs, or get more serious injuries. So the rescuers get a lot of work. Year after year, the number of the park's visitors is increasing, and in order to save the beauty of these places, to provide comfortable and safe rest, a number of infrastructure projects are being realized by regional and federal authorities. The territory of the natural park is being expanded and improved. The building of alpine huts and ecological paths along the popular routes has started recently. An ecological path includes everything necessary: observing grounds, camping grounds. Everyone who goes to ERGAKI knows that in this place he can see animals, in that place he can see hanging stone, and in another one he has an opportunity to spend a night. The project of the Alpen camp, which is supposed to become a training base and a place for holding mountaineering and climbing competitions of all levels, has been approved, and a new big emergency services center with modern training and rehabilitation grounds will seriously improve the level of providing safety in ERGAKI. In winter, everything is on the contrary in ERGAKI. The routes you can walk on foot in summer can only be covered by snowmobiles in winter. When snow reaches 3 to 4 meters deep, no hiking is possible. But for those who like snowmobile safaris, this is a great opportunity to traverse the most beautiful routes and to see well-known places in absolutely different snow forms. Winters here are very long and rather mild. The temperatures drop to -25 and strong winds are quite rare. The slopes are covered with snow from September to May, and nobody complains about the lack of snow. Unlike in European ski resorts, there are no such problems in ERGAKI, but there are specially prepared slopes equipped with bar lifts and rat tracks. Most of all, ERGAKI attracts amateurs of free ride and other extreme winter sports. Modern, and especially extreme kinds of sports, and ERGAKI were created for each other. In the summer of 2009, the first supermarathon multi-sport races, which included orienteering, rowing, and cycling, were held here for the first time. Even reaching the finish line of such a track is a serious victory over oneself. The biggest part of the nature park's territory is situated at the altitude of 1,200 to 1,600 meters. For professional sportsmen, trainings are especially effective here. Furthermore, the main objects of the 2014 Winter Olympic Games in Sochi are located at the same altitude. A special sports expert committee recommended ERGAKI as the place for building the Federal Training Center, which will start its work in 2011. ERGAKI is unique. Hundreds of rare plant and animal species, wonderful landscapes, great opportunities for developing sports and tourism, and all this is concentrated on a compact and well-situated territory. We should appreciate the virtues of nature's gift and find the strength and wisdom in ourselves to save it. Just save. Crystal clear lakes and rivers, amazing rocks, without any signature, ancient cedars and spruces. There is nothing to rescue here yet. We just need to treat what we've got carefully. We should use gas stoves instead of fires. Take rubbish away. It's possible. It's usually done in many foreign natural parks. There is such a tradition in ERGAKI too, and it is as natural as an obligatory greeting on the pathway. Hello! Everyone always greets each other in ERGAKI. In these greetings, there is something more than just usual politeness. It's just that everyone is a friend here. Both he who takes a backpack for the first time and he who is an experienced mountaineer. And everybody here has the same feelings. The joy to be in ERGAKI, to breathe this air, to see these rocks, and come here again and again. Listen, we are at the passage. I see Parabola, Bird, and Starry Peaks, all plainly visible. Forget about everything. Come here.